A very warm and healthy greetings to all my dear students. I hope you are having a great and safe quarantine. I would like to tell you that after 9 successful years, you stepped into your 10th standard. I wish God to give the same success in your 10th standard also. So, my dear students, great things never come from comfort zones. For that, we have to dream it, wish it, do it. Learning is a joyful journey. So let us learn a poem about an ant and a cricket who is teaching us how to be responsible in future. Before going to the poem, we can see this poem introduction. So in our 10th book, this poem is in unit 4, the part of poem in the title, the ant and the cricket. So basically this poem is a fable written in the form of a poem by Greek writer Aesop. Fable, actually a fable is a short story in which animals behave like humans and convey some messages. That's called a fable. Okay, so already I told this poem is written by a Greek writer Aesop. So who is Aesop? The poet Aesop was a Greek storyteller and a fabulist. Wrote number of fables now collectively known as Aesop's fables. Um, so although his existence remains unclear, his tales were gathered across the centuries and in many languages in a storytelling tradition that continues to this day also. Many of the tales are characterized by animals and inanimate objects that speak, solve problems, and generally have human characteristics. This poem, The Ant and the Cricket, is a story of two insects, a cricket and an ant. So already we know what is ant, but do you know what is cricket? Cricket is not a game. So cricket is a insect like a grasshopper. Okay, so this poem deals these two insects, a cricket and an ant. Okay, so first we read the poem fully and then we go to the explanation. Okay, if you have poem means take this poem and follow my words. Okay, a silly young cricket accustomed to sing through the warm sunny months of gay summer and spring began to complain when he found that at home his cupboard was empty and winter was come, not a crumb to be found on the snow covered ground, not a flower could he see, not a leaf on a tree. Oh, what will become, says Cricket, of me, at last by starvation and famine made bold, all dripping with wet and all trembling with cold. Away he set off to a miserly ant to see if, to keep him alive, he would grant him shelter from rain and a mouthful of grain. He wished only to borrow, he would repay it tomorrow. If not, he must die of starvation and sorrow, says the ant to the cricket. I am your servant and friend, but we ants never borrow, we ants never lent. But tell me, dear cricket, did you lay anything by when the weather was warm? Quoth the cricket. Not I. My heart was so light that I sang day and night, for all nature looked gay, for all nature looked gay. You sang, sir, you sang. Go then, says the ant, and dance the winter away. Thus ending, he hastily lifted the wicket, and out of the door turned the poor little cricket. Folks call this a fable. I'll warrant it true. Some crickets have four legs and some have two. It is a poem adapted from Aesop's fables. Okay, now come to the first stanza. A silly young cricket accustomed to sing through the warm, sunny months of game, summer and spring began to complain when he found that at home his cupboard was empty and winter was come. Okay, in this first stanza, the poet explains the cricket is a silly that does not care about the future and keeps enjoying the summer season rather than collecting food or making a shelter for itself. He always used to sing and enjoy during the spring and summer season. But on the other hand, the ant is wise. Instead of wasting time, it gathers food for itself and makes shelter. Now, those spring and summer seasons passed away. Now, the cricket began to complain when his cupboard was empty. Okay, so what are the complaints he made to his friend the ant? The answer for these questions in the second stanza. Not a crumb to be found on the snow covered ground, not a flower could he see, not a leaf on your tree. Okay, so in this first stanza, the cricket was enjoying itself by singing and wandering happily without gathering food or making a shelter for itself. So, but ant wisely it gathers food and made a shelter for itself. So after that, when the winter season came, uh, cricket complains to the ant. So the complaints, what are the complaints are? The cricket complains like there was not even a crumb. Crumb means a small piece of bread, biscuit, etc. Okay, so the first complaint is there was no crumb. So there was not anything to eat. There was nothing to eat. There are full of snow on the ground because at the time there was winter season. He could not see even one flower or a leaf on the tree. So after spring and summer, um, winter season came. So there was full of snow. There was nothing to eat or nothing to see, even a flower or grass. Okay, so then in the third stanza, oh, what will become, says cricket of me? At last by starvation and famine made bold, all dripping with wet and all trembling with cold. Away he set off to a miserly ant to see if to keep him alive he would grant. So in this stanza, the cricket had not eaten anything and was starving. with hunger. So it mustered its courage and set off to seek the help of a miserly ant. And he asked something for his survival. Um, so it makes requisition to his friend uh, ant. So can you please give me something to eat or give me a shelter um, to save my life? So like that he requested ant. So what are the things he asked to his friend ant? Him shelter from rain and a mouthful of grain. He wished only to borrow, he would repay it tomorrow. So, what are the things he asked? Means it asked to provide a mouthful of grain and shelter from rain because there was famine, chilling cold, and also raining made the cricket wet and shiver a lot while traveling. So the cricket requested the ant to lend some food and shelter, and he promised to repay by the next day, or else it will die. So these are the requests made by the cricket to his friend ant. Can you think what did the ant reply to his friend the cricket? So for this question, come to the next stanza. If not, he must die of starvation and sorrow, says the ant to the cricket. I am your servant and friend. But we ants never borrow, we ants never lend. But tell me, dear cricket, did you lay anything by when the weather was warm? Quoth the cricket. Not I. So the cricket asked help to the ant. The ant replied that it considers itself to be his servant as well as a friend. Okay, but the ants never borrow anything from others nor lend anything. So basically, the mentality of the ants, they won't never borrow or they won't never lend. So these are the procedure or these are the terms and conditions of ants. Okay. And he asked, did you gather anything when the weather was warm during spring and summer? So the ant asked the cricket, so did you gather anything or did you do anything in the time of spring and summer? The cricket simply replied, no. Then, what are the things he did? What are the works he did in those times? For this question, the answer is in the next stanza. My heart was so light that I sang day and night, for all nature looked gay, for all nature looked gay. You sang, sir, you say. Okay. So, in this stanza, what are the things the cricket did in those times of summer and spring? So the cricket said that its heart was so light, it was quite happy and did not care about the future. Simply, it was singing or wandering or enjoying the time enjoying the time of summer and spring. The cricket further says that it kept singing day and night because all the time all nature looked gay. Underline the word gay. The meaning for the word gay means looked happy and joyful. Okay, so in those times, summer and spring, it was fully enjoying singing day and night. Okay, so it didn't do anything, it didn't do any work. So the cricket thought that the beauty of spring and summer, as well as abundance of food and shelter, will always remain there. He never cared about the future. Um, he simply thought, um, in the time of summer and spring, there was lot of food, so there was lot of flowers are there, so like that. And winter season also, there will be lot of food, there will be a lot of flowers, so we don't care about future, like that he thought. But contrary to his thinking, there was nothing in the time of winter. So he was, failed to gather food, or he failed to shelter for itself. So these are the things, or these are the explanations, he was done he did to these are the explanations, he said to his friend the ant. Then what will be the reaction for his answer? The cricket. Go then, says the ant, and dance the winter away. Thus ending, he hastily lifted the wicket, and out of the door turned the poor little cricket. Folks call this a fable. I'll warrant it true. Some crickets have four legs, and some have two. On listening to the cricket, listening to the explanations of the cricket, the ant tells him that he was singing and enjoying during spring and summer. Now he should do the same, and the winter will go away. So, like that, the ant replied that, what are the things you did in the time of spring and summer? Winter season also you do the same, sing, dance, and enjoy. So did you say how did you do the same? Uh, like the You did not do anything, but the time passed away. Like that, you also do the same in the winter season. The winter season also will be passed away. Saying this, the ant quickly ended the conversation and pushed the poor cricket out of the door. In the last two lines, the poet says that people call the story of ant and cricket a fable, but the poet thinks that the story is quiet, because there are many crickets with four legs as well as two legs. It means there are insects and humans like cricket who do not care about future. So finally, the poet gives the moral. We should have happy moments, but we should not ignore our future. Careful planning is essential for everyone, and it ensures a secure future. Okay, so work hard today for better tomorrow. This is the simple message. So, students, don't waste your time, spend your time in a useful way. Recall everything. What are the lessons taught by the teachers? Thank you.